Thank you for joining us up here, folks. This is wonderful that you all made it up here, and you burnt exactly 300 calories on your way if you took the stairs. So double the pleasure. Please welcome, I'll start with our moderator, Tsafi Saar, who is a journalist for Haaretz, writing a weekly column about feminism, gender, in the Galeria Shishi, the Cultural Weekend edition. This is part of our partnership with Haaretz this year to deepen the conversations, and we brought in quite a few of their writers to moderate our conversations and participate on panels. And then people who need not much of an introduction, Chen and Anat Shelach, who you have seen in the film. And aside from being Anat's husband, Chen is an accomplished filmmaker. And in fact, some of his films that he's worked on, we have screened here. And we're excited to have them here for the conversation. You will all make it from here, even after the reception, to the next film, Jerusalem Boxing Club. So fear not. And I'm going to hand things over to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us. Well, first of all, Anat, I want to ask you, how are you nowadays, and how is Rola?
I'm very good. Little bit tired, but enjoying with my husband in the USA, New York, Boston, the people, the environment in New York, and everything. As for Rola, she's under big pressure.
Yes.
The situation, her boy is very sick and a lot of work.
Are you still in touch?
Almost every day now.
Okay.
She needs to complain and to be angry on someone. And I'm the best for that.
I understand she was supposed to be here too?
Yes.
And?
She decided not to because of the situation. She said that it's not good for the family, it's not good for the business to be shown in a festival that is very related to Jewish and to Israeli and that paid by the Israeli. So this.
We'll talk about
this is what you said, Carol.
It's other Israel. You and Rola had to deal with a double challenge. First of all, of course, as an Israeli Jew and a Palestinian. And second, as women in a job that is considered quite masculine in traditional thinking. How did you deal with it? Was it connected somehow? What were the obstacles?
When we start the business?
Yes.
For me, there was no too much obstacle related to the business because I came from this business.
Yes.
I was already 6 years in this business. The obstacle was Palestinian people. It took for them a long time to, even today, to trust me. There is a big mistrust between the Israeli and the Palestinian, and it's very, very difficult to do something about it. But I think today I manage with some of them. Also with Rola, it's not easy to work. I'm sure it's not easy for her to work with me. And Rola, she knows how to work with men in her way. And I think I mentioned it also in the movie. I never play with Barbie.
Okay. Chen, why did you choose to end the film in that not very optimistic point?
Well, we had 3 options to finish the film. One was when they're cutting the cake, which was very optimistic and very nice. The second was about when the shot is on the 2 unsympathetic husbands. That was the second one. And the third, and we were thinking both of them. And then we decided to go on the faces of the husbands because it's not very optimistic, so let's go on it. And like a few weeks before we finished the film, it became this Tzuk Eitan, this war in Gaza last year. And then one Friday, I knew her brother called to the army, and then I took my camera. We're living together, of course, so everything is going, I can shoot. And I started, and then it's happened. And it was, we were really thinking if it's good or not good, maybe it's taking too much for the non-optimistic, but we thought this is the reality in Israel, this is the reality that we're living in, and that's why this is the end of the movie and not some optimistic or wonderful cutting of the cake.
Yeah, no illusion.
No illusion. Yeah.
And when did you start to shoot the shooting?
We started a few years ago when a little bit after they started. I just thought that this is what I'm doing documentaries. And I thought that this can be a great two characters. I knew the characters. I find that funny, they had courage, and I thought this could be a nice one. It's saying something else, because for me this is not film about the conflict. Of course it's in the background. This is for me a film about two women that want to live a normal life in a most unnormal situation. And that's the film, that's how I see this film. That's what I wanted to say. This is the story I wanted to tell. They want to drink wine, they want to earn money, they want to raise their children. They just want to be normal. They don't, talking almost between them, almost not talking about politics, about the situation, about what's going on today, what's going on tomorrow. They're talking business and they're talking personal things. And I thought this is the beauty of these things. Could be of those two characters.
I agree with you. I think if you and Rola will manage the peace process, we'll have peace much before what's going on now. Really, I really think so. What did Rola think about the movie?
Rola saw it the first time after we had this fine cut. Of course, before it was screening in festivals and things like that. We were we didn't know how she's going to get it, but she saw it, and after 1 hour when the film ended, she said, I love it. It's like you said, it's the truth, it's what happened, and go ahead. She didn't ask even the smallest things to change. And of course, if there were things that was bothering her too much, we would change it.
Yeah.
But she didn't ask it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Well, I'm sure the audience would like to ask Anat and Chen questions too.
I'll start with asking also, has the film screened in the West Bank or to any Palestinian communities?
We wanted to do it we wanted to do a parallel screening in Jerusalem and at the same time in Ramallah. And then something happened. I don't even remember what happened, but something was happening. And I don't know if it was a second 0.3 intifada or 3 minus 10 intifada, but there was something happening and we couldn't do it. And we cannot, it was like 6 months ago, and for now there's no bother even to talk about it.
And in Israel, what responses do you get?
In Israel, we get a very good one, but as usual, as documentaries, films, people that see documentaries, as I know in Israel, at least, there are people that's already convinced. So we're talking like in my Facebook country, that people is very, very, very like it very much. I don't know how much people otherwise, even it was on the second channel of Israel, but it was a little bit late, so I don't know, but absolutely there's no, the opposite, where there's not a bad response. We didn't hear.
I have a question to Chen, not as a producer, but as a character in the movie. You're Anat's husband, and there is some argument between you. about what she's doing. And, you know, actually, she was in danger going there. And in many occasions, you were taking a big risk and you were saying it. She's the mother of your children. Didn't you think it was your role to prevent her from what she was doing?
Do you really believe, after you saw the film, that I have any chance to say? No chance.
Is the title of the film that you decided on the original, or did you come to that title?
I don't remember if this is original. We had a lot of titles until the last moment. But there was a team that was doing the English version, and my English is not as good for doing these titles for film, so I'm not really can, whatever, like, it's not the same as in Hebrew, which is, who knows Hebrew, it's the האויבת שלי, השותפה שלי. My partner, my enemy. It's come a little bit in English, a little bit otherwise.
There was a part of the movie, it wasn't really emphasized, but when Rola talks to you and she says, you don't know how to talk to these Palestinian clients. And I think one of the biggest difficulties between Palestinians and Israelis are, to put it mildly, very blunt. Dukri is the word they use. But they don't sugarcoat anything. Everything is straight. And they never take into account the feelings of the person that they're talking to. Palestinians are nothing like that. Palestinians are generally diplomatic. They want to get things done. And they see Israeli bluntness in a very different way. They don't see it as bad manners. They see it as something much more ominous than that. So, did that occur to you while you were making the film, that was part of the problems between you? The way you talk to your clients?
It's a complicated question. Absolutely, all are right. I don't know to speak to the Arab people, because sometimes, as you said, they don't want to hear the truth. And I cannot say nothing but the truth. And by the way, when she's going to her vacation, she will be in January in Dubai. So I'm the one who is speaking to the Palestinian people. And this is the only 14 days that they know everything from A to Z. Nothing, I cannot. Maybe it makes problems. Sometimes they're calling her to her vacation. Anat is telling this, and can you say? And then she calling me, and she's angry. Why are you telling that? Don't tell them. Of course, it's a total different mentality. They don't want to hear everything. They don't want to hear the problem. They don't want to hear that the container was stuck. I will tell them any story, and in the end, when it will be released, they will be happy. Yes, it's make me a lot of problem, and make to Rola a lot of problem with me.
I'm curious to know if either you or your partner have been approached by other women who would like to try to achieve what you've achieved? Or is your story a one-off story? People who are that may have their own ideas for cooperation in a business, and whether anyone has come to you and asked you for your guidance and thoughts about whether they can and should cooperate?
Between Palestinian and Israeli, or any business? not specifically Palestinian Israeli, because people are afraid to do this business, any business with Palestinian. There are some people who came to us that they want to sell, they have a product, they help me to enter it to the West Bank, but not to find there was one woman that I took her with me. She tried to open olive oil business in the Palestinian, but very quickly she became dependent on us, so I told her that we have no time for that. She have to do it by herself. Rola gave her the office, she met with everyone. Then we thought maybe we will open another business. We will make a meeting for the Israel who are afraid to enter to Ramallah. And no, people don't want to do business with Palestinians as partners. They agree to sell them.
But I like to add that it's not about business, but there are groups of women, Jewish and Palestinian, who work together, and activists. And now, when the situation is getting worse, there's even more women activity like this, because we see that things are so bad that we have to do something, and women do a lot. Yes.
I'm interested in how Rola had such good Hebrew. Like, where did she learn her Hebrew, and where was that from?
Rola knows, first of all, she knows five languages. She's speaking Hebrew, English, German, French, and a little bit Yiddish. And Arabic, and a little bit Yiddish. It's five and a son, of course. Rola born in Nazareth, and a family left to East Jerusalem. And so, but I don't think for them I don't think that Hebrew is from that she was a child that's born in Nazareth, small child. She's just a very, very good in language, very good.
At one time in the past, there were joint Palestinian-Israeli companies working together. But I guess that period is over. But in the past, there were quite a few joint ventures going on.
There are cooperation between Israel and Palestinian, mainly Arab Israeli, not Israeli Jewish. Israeli Jews, they are buying from us titulim, how do you call it?
Diapers.
Diapers, they are buying from us food. So there is a buyer and a seller. There are some restaurant in East Jerusalem. I don't know today that there was a cooperation, but usually the Israeli is a boss. In our situation, Rola is a boss.
There was a scene in the movie where Rola and her family came to visit you on kibbutz. Do your families continue to get together socially? Do your children still see Rola and her family? And did you ever visit them as a family in Ramallah?
Yeah, we're meeting. The children know each other. We haven't been to Ramallah. It's prohibited. We cannot go with our family over there. But they can come to our side. And we meet in the kibbutz, we meet in Jerusalem. We have a very nice relationship between the two families.
We're going to take two last questions back here.
Thank you. Having seen the film, I would like to see the title being Partners in Business rather than Enemy. Does that bother you?
Do you want us to change the name of the film? Possible.
I think Partner and Enemy will sell better. Exactly. Little drama. I still have one last question here.
Thank you for that film. It was just lovely. It was just so original, and it was done beautifully, and was very moving. But actually, my question is a little bit about life on the kibbutz, because my understanding was that is it common for members of the kibbutz to have small businesses of their own that they run in? Is that something new, or?
The kibbutz is very changed over the last 10 years. And now the kibbutzim, most of the kibbutzim, you can do whatever you like. You just have to pay some taxes to the community. And that's it. So we left the kibbutz for a very long time. Both of us from the same kibbutz. We haven't been there for 15 years, but when it changed and got much more free, then we came back. So now you can do whatever you like.
Folks, I want to thank you for being here and being a part
Thank
of
you.
this.
Thank you for coming.
We have to give also big credit to the co-director of the film, Duki Dror, who brought this film to us actually originally, and I'm sure lent a lot of his expertise to the process as well.